discussion, it's with all of us. Zachary.
You need quotations before you
Switch it a little. Before you
and after manners.
and after manners. Any disagreements? Okay, give me another one. Jalen.
You need to invent.
Why?
Because it's a newspaper.
What was going on in our last sentence?
River and Russell were blurting out, and
Okay.
the teachers.
Last week, River and Russell were blurting out. This week we have a new speaker, the teacher's talking. When we have the dialogue, we have to have a new indention. Austin. Okay. Okay. So how should I write it? TWO. Any problems with that? Macy. Say it again in a louder voice, please. I need to change 3 to the word form. Why? Okay, it's a number lower than 20. We're going to write it out in Word. Jalen Pierce.
You need to change that you're to Y-O-U-R
Why?
because that's you are and
You two and you are 3 big mouth friends does not make sense. I have the wrong one. I need to make sure that I have this one. Hopefully we all got that by now. Christian.
after Russell you need a comma
Why?
because it's tired. You need a comma after friends and Russell because it's direct
Why? Okay.
it's a positive.
Okay, she's saying I need a comma here and here because it is in a positive name. Agree or disagree? Anybody have a problem with that? Jalen.
I disagree with you. You don't need a comma after Russell. You just need one after Sterling and after.
Okay. Wait, hold on 1 second. Jalen is now adding 2 commas, correct? You're saying you want one here
Yeah.
and here,
You can have.
but you're thinking this one could maybe come out.
Yeah.
Anybody need to talk to either Christian or Jalen? Sterling.
I agree with you, Jalen, because it's not in the series. I agree with you, Sterling, because you have comments after Sterling. What? I mean, not.
Okay, I'm going to repeat what Sterling said because he was looking this way. Sterling said, I agree with these 2 because it's commas in a series. So I think we need to add those. And then Regina said she also agrees. So it doesn't look like these are a question. We're having a question with this one now. Christian, you want to defend yourself?
You need to come after Russell because it's in a positive for big mouth friends. You're telling who they are. Like, and a positive is a renaming for the noun.
Okay, the positive noun is renaming, and she says this is what I'm renaming. 3 big mouth friends are the same people as Sterling, Malik, and Russell, so I do need that comma. Anybody want to talk to her now? Change of opinion?
You don't need it at the friends. You just need it at the Sterling.
So now we're not sure if we need this one either.
Yeah.
Okay, if somebody needs to talk to Jalen. Miles.
I disagree with you, Jalen, because since it's in a positive here and you're renaming 3 big mouth friends, you need a comma to separate that from the part you're adding in.
Okay. Aaron, you want to add to that?
If you wanted to check it was in a positive, you could take that out and it would still be a complete sentence.
Take what out?
Starling, Malik, and Russell. You could take
Okay.
that out and it would still be a
She's
complete
saying let's try reading it and take this whole phrase out. You 2 and your 3 big mouth friends need to learn better manners than teacher screeched. Can I take it out?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Could I take this part out? Could I say, oh no, this part actually. Could I take this out and say you 2 and Sterling, Malik, and Russell need to learn better manners than teacher screeched? Screech?
No, because
Yes,
Sterling and Malik and Russell is
yes.
3.
Yes.
But I have you two and these three. It is 5.
But
You have 3. You already have 3.
Correct.
You are in 3.
Okay. Your 3 big mouth friends happen to be Sterling, Malik, and Russell. So yes, it is a renaming. Now we need to get that. It's a positive noun. You've all got that, right? Now we need to decide, do I need this comma? We need to decide. I have some people that say yes and some people that are still saying no. Zachary.
Yes, because it's a list too. Because they're listing Sterling, Malik, and Russell.
Janae, you need to talk to him?
yes, I disagree with you, Zachary, because I think the comma is supposed to be there, but it doesn't have anything to do with the list, because in the list, you're only supposed to put commas behind, like, the, Sterling, Malik, and then, and, wait, no, don't put a comma behind it. And then, so you don't need a comma there.
I don't understand what she just said.
Okay. Let me tell you. Zachary said you don't need this one because it's a list.
I just
And she said, I disagree. That comma doesn't have anything to do with the list. These are the 2 commas because it's a list. This comma is because it's the end of the apostrophe. That's what Janae said.
I agree with Janae because you do need it when you write a renaming because like it's almost kind of like a 2-thing list, but it's also a renaming. And when you write a renaming like the teacher, Miss Annie. Miss Annie. I was just thinking
It's
of her name,
obnoxious.
You still put a comma after Annie.
Finish that sentence. Finish what you were going to say. Give me your example. The teacher, Miss Annie.
Walked across the street to her house.
Yeah, just do a sharp one. Okay. Christian is saying, when I have a positive noun like this sentence, the teacher, Miss Annie, walked across the street, that I'm putting 2 commas to separate the 2 places that I'm renaming. Because all of this is the same as Miss Annie, we need this comma. It just happens that our renaming or our positive noun has more than one noun in it. We good now? Anybody still disagree? Oh, hallelujah. Okay, so we got that. Are we done?
No.
Erase all this mess now. Okay, anything else that we need to do? So we're keeping this comma, keeping these. So you should now have 4 commas within 4 words. Sam.
You can have the plus sign. That's the
This is an and sign. So what should I do?
change it into and.
And. What else do I need to do? Timothy.
We need to capitalize this S as Sterling and the M in the lead.
Because
It's a proper noun.
proper nouns. Good. What else should we do? Omar.
Capitalize the R in Russell because it's a proper noun.
Okay. Anything else? Malik.
Put the comma after the quotation marks.
Right here.
Before the quotation marks after the names.
So right here.
Yep.
Let me move this so you can see where he's telling me to put it. Comma first, then quotation marks. Agree? Disagree?
Disagree.
If you disagree, talk to Malik.
I disagree with you, Malik, because she screams, and so she's screaming, and so I think you should have a exclamation point before the quotation.
I don't get where you got screaming.
I just Screech doesn't mean
Screech
screech.
doesn't mean scream.
It means
Like
like
he's like snarling.
it
Like
means like
fussing.
Okay.
like
You can do
it
loud.
well like screeching is just like yelling but it's in a high voice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I have this correct, William is thinking this should be an exclamation point still before the quotation marks, correct? or possibly a comma. Anybody else want to weigh in on this? Go.
I agree that it could be an explanation point because it could be like different from declaring. Like screech doesn't sound like you're saying declaring something. Like it is a declarative sentence, but I don't think she's declaring. She might be exclaiming.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Could this be a place that I could put either? That
Yes.
either could be right. That it could depend on exactly
How she screeched.
how she screeched. And without having an adverb, or does screech always mean you're screaming?
No.
I need a partner to go look up screech so we can have that because that might help us with it. Janae, would you go get a dictionary, look up screech without the suffix, without the ed. Okay, while she's looking that up, do we have anything else that needs to be fixed? Gus.
Otherwise, why you?
Because
It's a start of the sentence.
it's the beginning of a sentence. It's also the beginning of
Declarative
quotation mark. So either way, that would have been capitalized. Regina. Okay, it's the end of what kind of sentence? If it's the end of an exclamatory, I would be putting a period.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, hold on to this because we're coming back to it. Janae.
A high-pitched, harsh cry.
It's true. A high-pitched
Exclaim.
cry.
Exclaim.
So, what do you think, Miles?
No, because high pitch just means it's high, but it's not loud.
Okay, you think exclamation point is how loud it is.
Yes.
So I could screech loudly, and I can have an exclamation point, or I could screech softly and have a comma, correct?
I don't think that can happen.
Why not?
Like, guys, how can you screech quiet?
Like,
Talk to her.
like some cars go like this when they're braking. They go like that, and they don't really screech loudly. It's just like it's kind of like high pitched, like Janae said. It's not really loud. It's just kind of squeaky, like
Wait, could you explain to me what high pitch means?
okay.
Sure. Who can do that? I need a music person. Miles,
High pitch is
absolutely not.
all the way up, like it's thin, but piercing, like it's high.
What does that mean? Exclaiming?
No,
It doesn't mean that you're
Jalen.
up.
Jalen's gonna try.
Like on the last note of the piano, it's soft, but it's still high pitched because it has like a light sound. In the highest note of the piano.
Have you ever done the hearing test where they put those headphones on your ears? Okay, some of them are really low like this, and then some of them are like you have to kind of strain your ears to hear. But it's not a loud noise, but it's very high pitched. It's almost out of your range of hearing.
So we're saying mama?
So I'm saying, I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm saying if we're saying screech that this is going to depend on volume, and screech doesn't help us with volume, that either one of these could be correct.
Yeah, we would need like an adverb loudly.
If we had an adverb, then we would probably better be able to decide. So I'm thinking either one of those could be correct. Now, I'm coming back to Regina, who's going to throw a complete new wrench. Put your hands down. Let's hear what Regina said before we looked up that definition. First, Regina said, put a period here because it's an exclamatory sentence. Then let me finish. Then she said, no, I can't have a period if that's an exclamatory sentence. Put a period here. You didn't say this? Oh, she's changed her mind. Okay, tell me what you did say. Tell me what you did say, Regina.
I said that if you have a explanatory sentence,
Okay, well, ask somebody. Who can you ask that can help you with that?
Wait, what did she say again?
She said, if it's sentence would I put a period after screech? Somebody want to talk to her?
No.
Go, Janae.
Okay. No. Well, no, because it's only the quotation that is exclamatory, but not the sentence. Like the sentence afterward, that's not exclamatory.
Okay, so the teacher screeched is making this not an exclamatory sentence. So if you're putting an exclamation point, it's for the sentence that's inside the quotes, which we've now decided could be this or could be a comma. So is this correct at the end right here?
I agree with Janae because if you put an exclamation point right after screech, that means it might be other you two over there, blah blah blah, and say the teacher screech.
Right.
It wouldn't be screaming.
Because what word could we substitute for screech? What's that generic word that we're taking out of our essay? Said. If I just had said here, we would know that it's a period. This sentence, when someone is talking and you're telling who's talking it, that's always going to be a declarative sentence. If you have the exclamation mark, it's going to come in what they said, not at the end of it.
And
Believe.
I have something to say. For an example, can I use Mason?
Do we have to? Sure.
No,
Is it about Kacha?
yeah.
Okay.
If
He's giving us an example to see if
if
he can.
someone was getting on Macy's nerves and she screeched at someone else, she would, like, you know how she's normally a quiet person, right?
Right.
She's screeching quiet.
Okay. So we're back to the comma and the exclamation point that you can screech quietly because Macy always speaks in a quiet voice. So even if she was screeching, talking in her highest pitched voice like this, it probably would still be quite quiet because Macy has a quiet voice. So that example works for all of us? Macy, when you screech, we're probably not going to put an exclamation point with it. Unless you screech loudly. Jeanette.
And also, like, going back to Regina, when you said that screech, like, you know how you said that said, you just put that there and it won't be. But, like, all the other words that you use for said, just a synonym and it just means the same thing.
It's going to be the same sentence with the synonym in it. Okay, so I think we're good with Kacha for today. Yes, is a reading prompt, so if you could pass those out to the people at your table. And there's also a list of questions. As soon as everyone has it, I'll know that your table's ready because your eyes will be on me. Okay, until Russell's ready. We need both. We need both. We need to be listening. If you have an extra, just put it in the middle and I'll come grab it. Okay, I want you to look at the writing prompt first, which is this page. You should know which one it is. The writing prompt, turn to the page that says a trip along the Cayman River. Okay, we're going to do this writing just like Lee. I'm going to read the directions to you. I'm going to read the prompt to you. And then you'll be on your own to read the passage. But before you move on to that, there's a few things that I want you to do. So let's go to the directions on the top of the page. Read the passage about rafting along the Cayman River. As you read the passage, think about participating in a rafting trip. What do you see? What do you hear? You may highlight information or underline it with your pencil. Use the passage to help you write a well-organized composition of at least 3 paragraphs. Then you have your reading passage. So now flip to the back, and you have your actual writing prompt of what you're going to be writing this week. Write a composition for your teacher telling about an adventure you have rafting down the Cayman River in India. Be sure to tell what you see and hear. Provide specific, factual details from the passage to help you tell your story. And then we have our checklist. As you write, follow the suggestions below. Your composition should have at least 3 paragraphs. Be sure your composition has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Use details from the passages and include enough information so your teacher will understand your response. Be sure to write clearly. Check your writing for correct spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Now, what I would like you to do before you start writing, because this is the one that you're going to be doing with no conference or anything else, I want you to fill out your focus paper. What are the things that we're focusing on? Now, I told you last week, our goal is to get a 12 on writing. Definitely an 11 or a 12. That's what we're all aiming for. So we need to know, what do you need to focus on to help you get that 12? Now, I have your last writing, well, not your last one, not the one that you just started Friday, the one from the week before that. Your Night at the Museum writing, ready to turn into. So I'd like to give you that one, and I have notes on every single paper, so look up here. There may be some notes that have something that is done well. I might have stars, it might say amazing, and I might have notes that you need to work on. But I also need you to flip to this copy right here, because some places I put notes inside the story while I was reading it. So what I want you to do is look at the notes written on your rubric, look at the notes written on your final draft that was graded last time, and use this to help you with what do you need to get a 12. What are the things that are stopping us right now from getting a 12? So I'm going to pass this out. Now, this has your grade on it, so you need to make sure that you're not sharing it with everyone at your table. It's no one else's business but yours. So I'm going to pass this out. While I'm doing it, you can start reading the article, A Trip Along the Kaiming River, and you can start filling out your questions. We're doing it alone first, then we'll do some sharing. Jalen. Narrative. Any disagreement? No. Okay. What do you think would be the best way to plan for this type of writing? Jeanette. A wild line. Any other opinions? Malik, talk to Jeanette.
I would do a bubble map.
Tell her why.
Because when you use a bubble map, you usually tell what you see, what you feel.
You want to talk to him? Who are you talking to?
I agree with both of y'all, because when you're talking about the bubble map, you can just tell them what happened, and when you're doing a wild line, you can tell each individual thing that happened.
Okay, Christian, you want to respond to him?
I agree with both of y'all too, and Regina, because yes, we did use the bubble map in 2nd grade and in 1st grade to help us to write a narrative.
Okay. And so you're thinking that would be the best for this one?
No, I think the wild line would be the best instead of the bubble map. Like, even though the bubble map helps us to say what we smell and hear and stuff, I think the wild line is easier because you can see which one to go in order before where your wild line goes.
Okay. Jalen, would you like to respond to that?
I agree with her, but I have something to add. It will help because a wild line has a beginning, middle, and end, and that's like 3 times, places, and stuff. So it has a perfect 3 paragraphs.
Okay. So Jalen is saying because it has the beginning, middle, and end, it might be better because that's one of the things that they're asking us for, and we need to get multiple paragraphs. Janae, talk to somebody.
And also with the wild line, you can also put in information on what you see, hear, smell. One of the little short sentences, like I saw this, I heard that.
Okay. Still sticking with yours? Still sticking with yours? Okay, we don't need to change your opinion, but it is a good idea for you to hear what other people are thinking when they go to plan this. Remember, no one is grading your plan. The plan is to help you get it organized. So you really need to do what you think is best to organize it. If you're doing a wild line, you need to make sure that you also include those sensory details, that you're talking about what you're seeing with adjectives, you're talking about what you're hearing with adjectives. And on the other side, if you're using a bubble map, as Malik suggested, you need to make sure that you have it organized into a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
Are we ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, however you are planning it, is what we were saying. However you're planning it, make sure you're answering all the questions on your prompt. That if you're doing a wild line, you're including the sentence things. If you're using a bubble map, you're getting it organized into the order of the events. Because one's easier for one, one's easier for the other, and you need to figure out how to merge them. Okay, how will the plan that you're doing help you write 3 paragraphs? How are you going to organize paragraphs? Sterling.
If I follow the things on my wild line, I could probably separate where the topic changes in my story.
Okay.
And the speakers.
Okay, so Sterling's planning on using a wild line, is that correct, Sterling?
Yes, ma'am.
He's going to use a wild line, and he said, I'm going to just start a new paragraph whenever I have a new topic or a new speaker. Anything else that would help? Sam?
You could just do a beginning, middle, and end.
You can set up your paragraphs for the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end to follow the wild line. What else, Janae?
Yeah, I agree with doing
Okay. Anything else that we need to add? Any other ideas? Anything we're missing? Okay, going on to the next one. What can you do to try to get a 12 on this writing? What is your plan of, here's what I need to add in this story, here's what I'm going to include, I need to make sure I do this. Erin.
correct spelling.
Okay, correct spelling. What would help you with that, Erin?
A dictionary.
A dictionary. That is one whole point on your thing. So if you don't bother checking your spelling of words that you're not sure of, you will not get a 12 unless you're just a perfect speller intrinsically. Miles.
Correct grammar.
Correct grammar. Anything particular that you're going to be looking for?
Commas.
Okay, that would be not grammar. That's going to be your punctuation.
Oh, yeah.
Commas. Where do you know you need to go back and check for commas?
In the compound sentences.
Okay. Miles is looking for compound sentences. He said, I'm getting points off because I have compound sentences. They don't have a comma. I need to go back and do that. Anybody have anything else they'd like to add on to that? Jalen.
Also mechanics, needed comments for our positives.
Okay. Just like we did on Kacha today, making sure you have that comma at the beginning of your positive, the end of your positive. What else are we looking for? Kobe.
You shouldn't use big words.
Okay. How can I fix that?
Go check over your story and see if you can make that better.
Okay. See if I can make words better. Do you have any keywords that you know you're not going to include in your story?
Said.
Okay, said. We can definitely find a better one. And what? Got. Said and got. I shouldn't see in any 4th grade writing. We can definitely come up with a better word than that. Where am I going to get the words that are not baby words?
Ooh.
Austin. Possibly a thesaurus. Where else can I get them from? Where else do you think I might get words that can help me get a 12? William?
A dictionary.
How would a dictionary help me get a new word?
They say synonyms and something.
Okay, some dictionaries have synonyms. Is there any place else that I could go other than a dictionary or a thesaurus to get a better word? Sam?
Your mind.
Why?
Because you should already know some synonyms to some words.
Yeah, you already know a whole bunch of impressive words. You do vocabulary words every week. Yes, you can use a thesaurus. You also have a whole lot stored in your head that can help you have those better words. Okay, what else can I do? I'm trying for a 12. I really want a 12 next week. What should I be practicing this week? Zachary.
Does that do run-on sentences?
How will I know if it's a run-on sentence? Can someone help Zachary? Zachary said, one of my notes on my last rubric said, avoid run-on sentences. How can he know to look for them? Omar, do you have a suggestion for him?
Yeah, like if you're putting like if you're doing sentences, look where you're putting the commas and ands.
And what would be his rule to know if it's a run-on sentence?
And it keeps on saying and.
Okay. If you keep on saying and, does anybody want to give him a little bit more information? Aaron.
More than one conjunction,
Then what?
then like you don't want to have and, so, and but all in the same sentence.
So what should he do?
You should make it into a compound sentence, and then if you have another sentence, just add another regular sentence.
Put a period and ending. Got that? So if one of the problems you had were run-on sentences, you need to be looking for conjunctions. You may even need to highlight them on your rough draft, one per sentence. If you have and then another sentence, and then a but and another sentence, you have to figure out one of these has to come out. I need a period, a capital F. Christian.
And also, like, use the passage. Like, you want to at least have some facts from it and have some personal.
Okay. I'm going to expand on that. Last week we were doing an opinion writing, and we had 2 passages, and I said, I think the absolute minimum you should have would be 3 facts. What do you think happens when we only have 1 passage? When there's only 1 passage, do you think we should keep that same rule? River.
No.
What do you think?
I don't think we should keep it because we wouldn't have to we won't have to use extra facts.
Okay, we won't have to have a second article, so do you think 3 is still a good number to aim for, or how many do you think we should be hoping for? Anybody have an opinion? Austin.
I think we should because the reader might want to know facts about the place that we're writing about.
Okay, they're going to want to know facts. So our question is, how many as a class do we think we should be aiming for? How many facts in there do you think are probably going to get a 12 when you just have 1 article? Sam.
2 through 4 or something around that.
How many?
2 through 4.
2 through 4. Maura's not agreeing with you. Talk to Sam.
If you want to
Omar.
get more points, you should actually put at least 4 or 5 details.
Anybody want to continue this conversation? Aaron.
I think you should put 6 because if you have 3 in each article and you have 2 articles, so you at least have 6 from both articles, so why can't you put 6 from 1 article?
Okay. Do you think they're going to take off if you have too many facts?
No.
Where do you think we'll have problems with facts coming into the story? Okay, we already know we're writing a narrative, so this type of writing is different. Where could we possibly encounter problems with our facts, Christian?
When, like, you're trying to write something and then, like, you say something happens, but in the story it says a whole nother opposite story. Like, you say, you see water, like salt water, but really it says you see fresh water.
Okay, so if you don't get your facts correct, if they specifically tell you in the article this river is salt water, and you say we're on the fresh water, then they're going to know the facts aren't really correct. So you want to make sure they're accurate. What else, Janae?
If you're trying to put in a fact, but you don't want to put in like just the fact, you want to like kind of squeeze it in with some like your like experiencing instead of like this river is saltwater, like we were riding in the saltwater river.
Correct. Narrative is a challenge because you need to take those facts and blend them into your story so it doesn't look like I'm reading a paragraph of a great narrative and then I get 2 sentences of facts thrown in there. It has to be merged in. You have to find a way to get those facts into your storytelling. Jalen.
Like, you can ask somebody that's with you on the last trip, like, what is this? And then they can tell you the fact.
Correct. If there's a fact that you want to get in that's hard to get in otherwise, include it as dialogue. Have yourself talking to someone else who's on the trip and get that fact in through dialogue because that's a good place to explain things. Don't just throw a random fact in. Okay, anything else that we're looking for to get a 12? Anything that hasn't been mentioned? Sterling.
So, like, focus more on the topic and the main idea.
Make sure you know the topic. I'm going to flip back to our last one where we had the sleepover in the museum.
Yep.
Some people had a great story about the museum, but there was no mention of a sleepover. So then I took off the topic point if you didn't have anything about a sleepover. So you have to know what your topic is. You have to know what your topic is. Okay, what else can I do for a 12? I'm hoping for a 12. I have LEAP next week. What should I be working on this week? Aaron.
If you have a sentence, then stay in that tense.
How could I know? Help me with this. Stay in the same verb tense. And we have this come up a lot. What would be a way for me to check this? Well, you're going to be looking at suffixes, but not all of your past tense verbs are going to have a suffix on it. So you need, yeah, you just need to go back and read it. A lot of times where you switch to present is when you're adding those facts in because they're probably going to be written like that on here. Okay, our last question. What would be a good way to end this essay if I don't want the end?